Welcome to the NBA White Guy Show. Massive trade from the worst nemesis, arch nemesis, to the greatest teammate of all time. There's a 3-team trade about to hit the Lakers. I like it. We're not going to talk contract salaries, if it can work or not. It's just straight up, does this work? Do these teammates play? And is Russell Westbrook finally out this mug? There is another 3-team trade that has just surfaced with the Knicks and the Jazz that would also send Russell Westbrook out of town. So this is a new trade that I think actually would be a third-place trade. I think what they're trying to do, obviously, first and foremost, is get Kyrie Irving to the Lakers. It's something that they want to mend. They want to get back together. LeBron, Kyrie, they've both been saying it, but getting rid of Westbrook gives them more chance. And I think, playing a lot of basketball, obviously never in the NBA, having that sort of change is what can reinvigorate or re-spark these guys. And so I think right now they're just kind of feeling the pressure of, man, last year didn't work. So sometimes even just that tweak in the locker room can be enough to get them re-energized. You're going to get Braun coming in tip-top shape. From what we're seeing, Anthony Davis actually might be somewhat in shape. He's running up like sand dunes and stuff. So it's going to be a little bit better than last year. Hopefully it'll help him be a little bit more injury prone. But let's dig into this trade real quick. And before we do that, I am your NBA white guy. I'm always right. I'm going to have my opinions about these trades. Basically, a lot of conversations about LeBron James and the Lakers. And if you disagree, well, you got to comment down below what your take is. So if we go over and read this, it's a new report. It's come out from the Los Angeles Lakers community. Don't you think that they're putting the majority of these trade rumors out there? I don't know where this one comes, obviously, by Jacob Rube. But the Lakers have reportedly discussed this 3-team trade with Russell Westbrook, the Jazz, and the Knicks. So I'm just going to highlight who is going where, what this means. So the proposed 3-team trade scenario included Westbrook going to Utah. Now, Utah is on a fire sale right now. They had the best record like 2 years ago, and then all of a sudden it's just nobody wants to go there. But Westbrook, he's going to go to Utah, getting bought out. So that would obviously send him somewhere else. And they're obviously looking for a lot of draft picks. But Utah would send Donovan Mitchell to the Knicks. They just got Jalen Brunson, paid him pretty decent, $100 million, but he's 6'1". I think Mitchell's like 6'2", 6'3". Now you've got 2 tiny guards. I know that Mitchell is a force. The dude is a walking bucket. Jalen Brunson had an incredible postseason run with the Mavs, but that's 2 small dudes. And when we look at backcourts and we look at small dudes, you got Steph and Clay. Steph's 6'4", Clay's 6'6", 6'7". You look at Chris Paul and James Harden, but James Harden was an absolute knockdown 3-point shooter and a walking bucket. And I think Chris Paul is going to always separate himself as just this floor general. So he's running so much. He's running the entire team in business. So it's just a totally different perspective, in my opinion. But I think having Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell, I think basically Mitchell's going to take over that team, do what he did in the Jazz. And you got Jalen Brunson paying him $100 million to just kind of be there. I look at guys like Dame and CJ, but CJ he's 6'5", 6'6", and played a very complimentary 2 guard. He is the prototypical 2 guard. These 2 dudes are Brunson's your point guard and Mitchell is your point guard. So I don't know if this would be a good combination over in New York. New York needs a lot more than that. But also landing Mitchell, I think, is a pretty stellar move. So a combination of players would come back to the Lakers. This is where it gets interesting. You've got Patrick Beverly, Jordan Clarkson, and Bogdanovich. That's always the toughest one to say. Bogdanovich. I like this right here for a few reasons. We always need shooters with the Lakers. They were atrocious last year, averaging 0.5% from 3, it seemed like. So we're going to get shooters. Clarkson already played with LeBron, and the dude is getting some serious confidence. I don't know if it's going to waver coming back over, because the thing about Jordan Clarkson I've noticed is that when he's kind of on these other teams and not secluded down to more of a role player, that he is really excelling. So how do you let him go off? And you got these guys like Taylor Horton-Tucker, that are going to be getting minutes too. So Clarkson is an incredible piece. I think he's better on other teams, but he would be great to bring in. This is the one that I love. Pat Bev. In fact, my son just went to his camp the other day. I got to meet him. Cool dude. But look, all the basketball I've ever played my entire life, these are the dudes you hate playing against and you absolutely love having on your team. It reminds me of Lance Stevenson when he would blow in LeBron's ear and just an absolute pest. He made a career out of pestering LeBron, and then he goes and plays with him. But Pat Bev, I think, he's going to keep people in check too. This is what you need in a team. You got to have that guy who's just he don't care. He's going to say what he wants to say. He's going to get up into the AD's face. He's going to talk to LeBron. I think Rondo did this. I really miss having Rondo, alongside of LeBron. One, just he's so smart and he's able to, manage a lot of these other players and emotions. But you saw in the game a lot of time, Rondo was getting everybody together and just calming them down. And I think he was integral. Pat Bev can do this, and he's going to, if they're going to get this defense flipped back around and really playing hard. I mean, LeBron's going to have to get his rest during the game. We need a lot of players playing at a high level. I miss big time Caruso, and I think Pat Bev can bring that energy back and throw the fire into the ADs. Get 80 down there blocking a lot of shots and just get everybody back going. So I love the Pat Bev and some shooting. Beasley to the Lakers, whatever. So the Jazz would receive significant draft pick compensation from the Knicks and the Lakers. So it also says that the Knicks would have to get rid of, some salary fillers like Derrick Rose. Man, D Rose. I always thought, I wonder if he would be a good fit to come back and play, with a LeBron, and get him as a point guard. He's been killing it. He was great with the Knicks. He's got this whole new persona to him. He ain't that old school D Rose. I like this. I think this trade right here is more like a third place trade in the opinions of, even just the Lakers in general. I like getting, a little bit of shooting. Clarkson's a solid player, and Pat Bev is just that. He's just that workhorse, that floor general, and that mouth. You got to have that. He's the Draymond, a little bit smaller, but it's nice to have that in championship runs. So these kind of players would be, I think, a way better fit than just the Russell Westbrook. We got to ship him out of there. But and I'm not on this like he's done, he's toast type of thing. I think he will excel if he gets to another team and earn a little bit more of that contract. So make sure that you're commenting down below what you think about this trade and everything that I said, because I'm right. So whatever you say is going to be wrong. And until the next big trade rumor, we'll catch you later.